Unmute. Tuấn Minh. Mình Tuấn. Can you please put your hand at your chest? Anyone say hello, Venerable Sir?
Nice. Hello, everyone. Very well. It seems like Ngo Tui Ha will need to take some pants. Or are these pants? Probably not. You need to dress yourself properly for our class. Remember, your knees, your navel, your shoulders need to be covered. Okay, welcome Hein Te Ao. I think I haven't seen you in the class before. So nice to see you here. And we can sit in our comfortable meditation posture. So everyone make sure that your legs, hands and face are visible in the camera. So I think Hein Te Ao will need to adjust his camera for that. So you can see that other people here also, you see their legs, hands and face are visible in the camera. If you can adjust that, it would help. You'll probably need to keep the camera far from you. And we are waiting for Mai to also be available. We can see the clock and the door and the rack, but we cannot see Mai. So I'm waiting for Mai to show herself or himself in the video. Jing Ngok Kang Wan. I do not see your face. I would like to see your face also. So maybe if you tilt the camera a little up, that will help. Hein Te Ao, this will not be enough. What you can do, you can keep your camera on a bed, so that, or on a chair, so that it looks at you from above. That is usually most successful. Yeah, Isabella will also need to keep the camera a little bit further from her.
Venerable Sir, I am currently, I can't really adjust it any further.
I see, okay. So for next time, see if you can find a solution, because I need to see how you keep your legs and how you keep your back during meditation to provide additional support. Several people here actually are not sitting in a meditation posture, so I would like to remind you, meditation posture has several variations, and some are not really a meditation posture. We still do not have Mai in the camera though, so I think somebody can take her or him to a breakout room for additional technical assistance. So proper meditation posture involves that you keep your legs in a special way. So the idea is that you will be always sitting in a special way for all meditation time, so that whenever you sit in your meditation posture, your mind automatically calms down. In psychology today, it's called classical conditioning. So you condition the mind to calm down whenever it comes to a meditation posture, because whenever you get to meditation posture, that's the time when you're in peace. You don't use your phone, or you don't speak with others, you don't resolve problems, you're fully dedicated to peace. So that's why we want to have very special meditation posture for all times when we meditate. So one meditation posture is keeping all of the legs on the floor. So you can see my thighs, calves, the heels and feet, all of that is on the floor. All right, so all of that is on the floor. So that's one way. Another way is keeping one foot between the thigh and the calf of the other leg. Be careful that it doesn't sink. If it sinks like this, then that's wrong. That should not happen. It needs to be gently placed between the thigh and the calf. Then another version is, this is how I meditate, keeping the thigh and keeping the one foot on the thigh. And then, of course, there's another version which is called the full lotus, when you keep both of the feet on the respective thigh. The problem of full lotus is that there is a complete full lotus and an incomplete full lotus. So in complete full lotus, both of your knees touch the floor, and that's very good. But usually what happens is that when people try to do full lotus, their knee is somewhat, levitating or floating above. It is floating above the floor. So if your knee is floating above the floor like this, then that shows that you are not eligible to meditate in this posture. You would probably need to do some more exercise, some more yoga to do that. As you can see, I'm also not eligible, but I don't need that because it's not my posture for meditation. My selected posture is the half lotus, keeping one thigh, one foot on the other thigh. In that case, if you keep one foot on the thigh or one foot between the thigh and the foot, be careful about the foot of the other leg. That's this foot. It should not be too much in front and also too much at the back. So need to be in the middle. Ideally, you keep your heel between the thigh and calf of the leg that's on it. So that's pretty easy to check, to feel, and so this posture is very recommended in our scriptures. Some of you sit like this, and it's totally fine as well. This is called the Sukhasana in yoga. It is known as the posture of pleasure. Okay, Sukha means pleasure. So if you want to enjoy pleasure in meditation, for which meditation was designed anyway, then this is a very good posture. All right, so this was a little introduction to posture, and I will show you the posture which is wrong. So there is one posture which is specifically wrong and in which you should not be sitting, because that's a casual posture. It's a posture that's used for talking, for resolving problems, for eating, and so on. And that's posture where you keep one thigh on the heel of the one thigh. Okay, where it is? Here it is. So you keep one knee on, or one calf on the toes of the other leg, and the other calf on the heel of the other leg. So if you keep your calves on the heels and toes of the other legs, then that is the so-called tailor's posture, and it is not allowed because it's a casual posture. It's not a posture specifically for meditation. All right, so when I want you to keep your legs, hands, and face in the camera, it is because I want to support you in sitting in meditation and not sitting something else. So, Heinte Ao, do you think you can sit in one of those postures that I have suggested for meditation? I feel like you're now sitting in the tailor's posture.
Yes, sir.
You are. So how are you keeping your legs? Are you keeping all of them on the floor, or one between thigh and calf? Which one did you select?
I would probably say one between thigh and calf.
Okay, that's good. If you feel that your knees or your legs are not sufficiently relaxed, that's not a problem. As you meditate, they will gradually settle down.
Yes, sir.
All right, seems to be good. And we will erect the back. Make sure your back is erect. The chin should be a little closer to the neck, and we send the head a little backward. All right, that's very healthy. Some people, when they meditate, they have problems with their neck or with their throat. Then when I tell them they need to keep their neck closer to the neck, their chin closer to the neck, and the head a little bit back, they don't see that pain anymore. The problem entirely disappears for them. So make sure that you keep your chin closer to the neck, and you send the head a little backward, a little back, and that may help you to avoid unnecessary pain and trouble. It needs to be comfortable though. Cannot be. If it is uncomfortable, then that's a proof that it's wrong. Okay, so we're sitting in our nice meditation posture. Our back is erect, and we can make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. Let's do 10 minutes today. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy and changing. So at the top of the head, there is a flat piece of flesh. It's a kind of sinew. We allow it to be heavy. That means we allow it to have some weight. And to change as we are getting older, things are changing. And muscles and flesh also change. So we allow it to be changing. And then we continue in this manner to the forehead. So again, we accept that there may be some piece of muscle at the forehead, and we allow that muscle to relax, to be heavy and changing. You continue to the eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head, We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be heavy and changing. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy and changing. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes. We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy and changing. And we allow all of the body parts to be changing. As we give freedom to the body to be the way it is, we ourselves achieve freedom from worry about the body. So let's watch this freedom. Let's watch this peace.
Then me and your father would like to bring to you a Buddhism. Is that okay?
And now when we are established in our peace, we can share it with other living beings. We can start in our room. We don't force, we don't expect, we just allow. May all beings in this room be in peace. And we will gradually expand our thought of loving kindness. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this continent be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. And before you move anywhere, stay where you are. We are changing our way of sitting. And we are moving our legs into a little different posture. So, are you here with me? Yes. So you can look how I'm keeping my legs. So I'm keeping now my legs a little different way. I'm keeping both of my feet right next to me. Okay, can you sit like that?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So as we are sitting in that posture, we will take one more minute during which we will not be moving at all, and we will just watch what's going on in the mind. Is there any feeling or seeing or hearing? Are there any thoughts, desires, disappointments, doubts? Whatever is there, we want to be there with them. We want to watch them and see how they come and go. Very well. So now you can come closer to your cameras. We'll be reciting 3 refuges and 5 precepts. So you'll be reciting them today in the Sri Lankan pronunciation. That's a little different from the Burmese pronunciation, so you need to be very careful. I will be sharing the screen with you so you can see it, but most of you already can do it without that. So first I say Yamahang Vadami Tang Vadeta, which means repeat after me, and you then only reply Ama Bhante. So I would like to ask you everyone to unmute. Everyone can unmute yourself. Yamahang Vadami Tang Vadeta. Okay, let's try it again. Yamahang Vadami Tang Vadeta. Very well. So now you will be repeating after me the request that I give you the 3 refuges and 5 precepts out of compassion, and you would take them by repeating after me. So that's what you're asking me for. In Pali language, Aham Bhante Tisaranena Saha Panchasilang Dhammang Yajami Anuggahang Katva Silang Detha Me Bhante Anukampang Upadaya Dutiyampi Aham Bhante Tisaranena Saha Panchasilang Dhammang Yajami Anuggahang Katva Silang Detha Me Bhante Anukampang Upadaya Tatiyampi Aham Bhante Tisaranena Saha Panchasilang Dhammang Yajami Anuggahang Katva Silang Detha Me Bhante Anukampang Upadaya. So now you will be reciting the 3 main qualities or 3 most famous qualities of the Buddha. So number 1, the Buddha was free from all birth, old age, illness and death. Number 2, the Buddha was free from all mental defilements, so free from all greed, hatred, ignorance. And number 3, the Buddha fully understood the truth about suffering and the way out of suffering. So let's try that together. Namo tassa bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Then come taking the 3 refuges. The 3 refuges are very important for us in Buddhism because they remind us that the Buddha's teachings Dhamma, and the community of monks Sangha are the ultimate source of peace. They're the ultimate source of wisdom for us. So on one hand, they recharge us. So as soon as we lose our enthusiasm to do good, to be good people, to be kind, to dedicate ourselves to virtue, we can think of their qualities and be reminded and regain our enthusiasm. But probably a little more importantly, these three, the Buddha, the Buddha's teachings Dhamma, and the community of monks Sangha, they lead us towards the ultimate peace, the ultimate freedom from all greed, hatred, ignorance, the ultimate freedom from all birth, old age, illness, and death. All right, so let's get it done. Remember to keep your hands together at the chest, because that is the sign that you're serious and that you are seriously taking the refuges and the precepts. Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddham saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammam saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. So here you need to be careful about this word gacchami. In Sri Lankan pronunciation, which is what we are training these days, it is gacchami. Cha-cha-cha, gacchami. Okay? In Burmese pronunciation, they pronounce it gisami, but I will teach you pronunciation of the Burmese sometime later. First, I want you all to master the Sri Lankan pronunciation, because that's international and that's very useful for you when you're in the US or in the West, because other Buddhists also follow international pronunciation, be they Sri Lankan or Thai or Mon or European or American, they will follow international pronunciation. Only the Burmese pronounce quite different, so I will explain that to you sometime later. First, I want you to master the Sri Lankan version. So now I will tell you Sarana-gamanang Paripunnang, which means going for refuges is complete, and you can then reply Amapante. So let's try that together. Sarana-gamanang Paripunnang. So now come the 5 precepts. The first one means I follow the rule of refraining from killing living beings. Not only that we don't kill or harm, but we also cherish other beings' lives. We wish that all beings live as long as possible and that they live happily and healthily. So we support them in that. So you can keep your hands together at the chest and repeat after me. Panatipata. Veramani sikkhapadang. Samadhiyami. The second precept means I follow the rule of refraining from taking what is not given. It means we never steal. Instead, we cherish others' property and we also donate to them so that they are even wealthier than before. Adinadana. Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. The third precept means I follow the rule of refraining from sexual misconduct. It means that if you're married, you do not have sex with someone who's not your wife or husband. And if you're not married, or if you're married, you do not have sex with someone who has a different husband, different wife than you are. Okay? So I think that makes quite sense. It's also called not cheating, but the problem is that the word cheating is related only to those who are already married, whereas this rule is related to all people, because you can break this rule even when you are not married. How would you do that? Well, by having sex with someone else who is married with someone else than you. So we need to be careful. This rule has these two meanings. So you can repeat after me. Kame sumichachara Vera manisika padang samadhiyami. The fourth precept means I follow the rule of refraining from false speech. It means we never tell lies, we always cherish the truth. Musavada. So I think we have lost Tao Lien. Are you back with us? Is everything okay?
Yes.
Okay, so let's try that again. Remember to keep your hands together at the chest. Musavada. Vera manisika padang samadhiyami. The fifth precept means I follow the rule of refraining from drinking alcohol and taking drugs. So instead we are maintaining our mindfulness and we train very hard so that our mind is clear and sharp and as wise and intelligent as possible. Sura meraya. Majja. Pamadatthana. Vera manisika padang samadhiyami. So now I will encourage you all to follow these 3 refuges and 5 precepts very ardently and strictly, so that they're well followed and protected. And how will you do that? By working hard mindfully, by striving mindfully. So what is this thing called mindfulness? So at this level, it just means that you're enough aware of your mind, so that if the desire to break these 5 rules, when it appears, you can notice it very fast, and so you can remove it very fast and successfully. And then you can agree with that. If you want, you can say Ama Bhante, which means yes, Venerable Sir. So let's try that together. Tisaranena sadheng panchasilang dhammang sadhukang surakkitang katva appamadena sampadetha. So now I will wish you to be happy, healthy, attain Nibbana, and after that you can agree with that by saying sadhu, 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 which means well said, well said, well said. So let's try it together. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana. Very well. So in Myanmar you would say Tadhu, but again, first I would like to train you all in the Sri Lankan pronunciation, so that wherever you go, people are happy about your knowledge and happily take 3 refuges, 5 precepts with you. But later I plan to teach you the Burmese pronunciation, so that you are happy also with the Burmese. And now let's look at the questions. So we didn't meet last week, so I already now expect that there will be some drop in the success, but let's try and see. So let me know, how many times did you meditate during the last 7 days? How many out of those days? do you meditate? So everybody, please come close to your camera. See that there is a quiz. You can answer to the questions in the quiz. So now I have a meeting. Can you please come about 10 minutes later? Yes, thank you. Okay, that's pretty good. So we have a very good score. Some of you believe they did not meditate at all. Some of you meditated 1 or 2 times. See if those are just 2 people. So those 2 who voted 0 or 1 to 2, make sure that this week you increase your practice and meditate at least every day. Okay, see if you can meditate at least every day. You don't have to meditate 10 minutes. 5 minutes is totally enough. You see, we are not asking you how many minutes did you meditate. You can just wake up in the morning, sit down on your bed, take 5 minutes, and you're good. It's totally enough. You know, don't have to do 10 minutes. If you want, if you think you can do that every day, that's better. But 5 minutes is a pretty good start. Okay, still we have about 50, still we have exactly 50% out of you meditated at least 5 days during the last 7 days. So that I think is pretty good result. And quite a few of you also meditated 3 to 4 times, which is not bad at all. Okay, so this is for meditation. Now regarding homework, I'm thinking because now gradually more and more out of you are able to do homework on time. That means earlier than 2 days or 1 day before our class. The list of the people who did not do their homework is smaller and smaller. So for example, this time we had just 4 people who didn't do homework on time. So they did it on the last minute. And we could see there that there's a different ratio of the Burmese and the Vietnamese people. Now here in our class, the Burmese are not many. That's right. We do not have many Burmese here. And today actually some of the Burmese did not come at all, right? So we do not have we don't have well, I forgot their names. We don't have the 2 young gentlemen, and we are missing Amy. We are missing her sister. So we don't have many Burmese people here. Now the majority is the Vietnamese. But in that case, proportionally, smaller number of Burmese people should be late in their homework, and a larger number of Vietnamese people should be missing their homework, right? But this time it was totally opposite. It was 3 Burmese people who did not do their homework and just 1 Vietnamese. So that is definitely not good for the Burmese. So I would like to encourage the Burmese to do their homework. Interestingly, none of those Burmese who didn't do their homework actually came today. So that I think is a pretty interesting situation. Do your homework whether you come for the class or not. Okay, because if you do your homework and you do not come for the class, it counts as if you came for the class. All right, but if you do not do your homework and you come for the class, it does not count as if you came for the class. It's as if you just didn't come. So the homework is actually the essence of this course. It's not really your coming. Of course, I'm happy that you're coming, and there's a lot you can learn if you come. For example, you can learn meditating, you can learn reciting, and so on and on. But the main point is that you do the homework. Right? So today I would like to listen to homework but I don't see Peter. Do you have Peter? Who is Peter Ao? Oh, that's Heinta Ao is Peter Ao. I see. Okay. So I would like to ask Hoang Chi, Peter Ao, and Tui Ha to raise your Zoom hand. All right, very well. So Hoang Chi, can you please read your homework for us?
Page 130, the android glands are located right above the kidneys, and when activated in highly stressful situations, they put the body in position to respond to danger by raising the heart rate, dilating blood vessels, increasing oxygen, and redirecting blood away from the digestive tract and into the muscles and limbs in order to run away. Adolescents whose amygdala are less under control by the frontal lobes are prone to respond to situations of stress with more extreme emotions than adults, who can rely on their prefrontal cortex within the frontal lobes to control their anger and fear.
So you would read it as amygdala. Amygdala. Can you say it?
Amygdala, okay.
Perfect. Okay, well, those are so long sentences. And Huang Chi, can you also tell us what is the name of the chapter?
Chapter 11, Stress.
Stress. Thank you. So I would like to ask everybody, always start with the chapter name, then page number, then the text. Thank you very much. Well done. Ngo Tui Ha.
Chapter 11 Stress, page 129. Emotions are the barometer of mental well-being, page 131. A little pressure can be motivating, but once you pass beyond that, stress contributes to inattention and real inability to learn.
Yes, exactly. And we learned this also from the Buddha. The Buddha explains that there are 5 things that can block your ability to learn and to remember. What are those 5 things that the Buddha teaches? Number 1, lust. Number 2, anger. Number 3, laziness. Number 4, restlessness. And number 5, doubt. So if you have lust, hatred, laziness, restlessness, doubt, then you will not be able to remember anything, and you will not be able to memorize anything either. So you need to work with these 5. So you could ask, so how am I going to do that? Because whenever I'm learning, these things appear in my mind. Well, if you have that kind of question, well, then my answer is, of course, meditate. Do more meditation. You know what you can do? When you want to memorize a lot of things and get ready for your exam or whatever, sit down for 15 minutes or 10 at least and take time, meditate. Calm down your mind. You can do meditation on muscles. You want to do on breath, who cares? You can do on breath. I teach you muscles because I like it more, but it doesn't really matter. Important is that you calm down yourself. When you are there in the present moment, be it with the muscles or with the breath, in its essence, it's actually the same thing, but this would be for a longer discussion. So then, after you achieve calm and peace in your meditation, well, then that means that you don't have these 5 things in the mind. No more lust, hatred, laziness, restlessness, doubt. It's just not there. You're enjoying your peace and calm. And then your memorizing will be very fast. And what you memorize, you will remember long. Okay? So as for me, for example, I have very bad memory. I know nobody believes it to me, but it's true. I have very bad memory, but I have excellent meditation and I have excellent effort. So whatever my memory is not able to do, I'm making up for it with extraordinary effort and with extraordinary meditation. So then I remember things that people cannot imagine that they would remember. I have memorized 600 pages of Pali text. It's quite a lot for a person who has bad memory. And I can speak in 6 or 7 languages. It's also not bad for a person with bad memory. I'd say most of you here have actually good memory, so you don't have it that hard. Like if I have to learn a new vocabulary, a new word, I have to like repeat it 10 times, 20 times, and I forget it anyway. And I have to then repeat it again another day, again 10 times, 20 times, and then I forget it anyway. And so learning new vocabulary, learning words is so difficult for me. But I'm so used to apply extraordinary effort, and just repeat it 100 times and 100 times that it's just normal. And I can remember like this, I can memorize like this thousands and thousands of vocabularies of different languages, because I give it the time, I give it the effort. So I would like to encourage you all to also apply extraordinary effort and apply extraordinary meditation. Extraordinary meditation means dedicating extraordinary time to your meditation. That's the secret. So you don't meditate 10 minutes or 15. No, you meditate 1 hour or 1 hour and a half or 3 hours a day. That's extraordinary meditation. For you as youngsters or teenagers who have to go to school and so on. When I was 18 years old, well, you're not 18, but you will be soon. So when I was 18 years old, and before that as well, I was meditating very much. When I was 18 years old, I meditated 3 hours a day. And still I went to school, and I also had a job together with the school. So I would meditate 1.5 hours in the morning. I would go to school. I would return home. Not to home. I would go to work. Then I would work there another 6 hours, 6 hours at school, 6 hours at work. I would go back home and do another 1.5 hours of meditation like this, Monday to Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, I would meditate 1 hour and a half, 5 times on Saturday, and then again on Sunday. So you can imagine that my memory was pretty good. It was bad by nature, but it was good by meditation. I was able to make up all of the weaknesses by my meditation and by extraordinary effort. And guess what I used the money that I gained from my work for? I used them to go for a meditation retreat. Because in the Czech Republic, you have to pay a huge amount to go for a meditation retreat. It's not like in Vietnam where you can go totally for free. And if you ever have to pay for a meditation retreat, then just don't go there. Come to my retreat. My retreats are always free. So you can go for a meditation retreat in Myanmar, in Vietnam, in Sri Lanka, in other countries, totally for free. Even these Goenka retreats, which are famous all around the world, are for free. Surely in your countries, be it in the US or UK or wherever you are, you have there some Goenka center where they have twice a year a meditation retreat. So you can go there, it's for free. They're, by principle, Goenka retreats are for free. They're also 10-day retreats. Okay, so meditation and energy, that helps you to work with those 5 blocks. And when you can remove these 5 blocks, at least for a little while, then memorizing and learning is very easy. And then later, when you want to remember something that you memorized earlier, again, you need to remove those 5 blocks so that you can easily remember what you learned before. So if you're having tests, then of course it's difficult. Because during test, you have restlessness or you have anger. You're like, why did the teacher ask me this question? I didn't want to answer this question. Or that kind of thing. So then, of course, you will not be able to remember what you have memorized. Okay. I see Jake actually did his homework. So who are the 3 people who didn't do their homework on time? I remember there was Amy, and then... Okay, you can wait here. Please come. Do you remember? You don't remember? It's not important anyway. So, Hey Teao, are you here with us? Hang on. Seems like yes. Okay. Always please keep your camera on if you can. So do you have? Can you please read for us your homework? Do you see the screen?
Page 173.
Please read the chapter name first.
Oh, chapter 11, stress. Page 173. Heightened emotion goes hand in hand with stress, and the stressors are adolescents are everywhere. From speaking in front of the class to peer rejection and bullying, the effect of stressful experiences and emotional trauma on adolescents can have serious consequences for mental and emotional health later in life. Page 175. In animal studies, researchers have found that the brains of adults, after a period of stress, bounce back within about 10 days. In adolescent animals, however, the effects were not only long-lasting but also possibly irreversible. This gives us a pause when we consider human teenagers and all the stressors that can take them over the top.
Yes, thank you very much. Huang Chi, do you have something to say? Can I help you with anything? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So now there's a little problem with stress, and that is that if you believe that stress is bad for you, that itself can reduce your lifespan. So it has been found that people who are too much avoiding stress and too much afraid of stress actually live shorter time. So you do not really need to, avoid stress or be afraid of it or be scared of that. No, not at all. Just do whatever you want, get ready for your exams, get ready for your whatever is your plan, but also meditate so that you can mitigate. What's that? Reduce. You can reduce and make up for the weaknesses and troubles and drawbacks of stress so that you're still healthy and you can do whatever you want. Alright, so our time is up, but still I would like to read for you my note. Let's see if I have something else than what you have noted. You can close the door. So, chapter 11, stress. Okay, I get something here that you don't have because I'm interested in these mental disorders. So, chapter 11, stress. 141. Stress in adolescents works differently from stress in adults, and the effects of stress on learning and memory in teenagers can predispose them to mental health problems, including depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. So that means that if somebody has PTSD, probably or possibly, and depression as well, they were exposed to too much stress. For adolescents in general, the two strongest predictors of PTSD are exposure to violence and the sudden death of a loved one, according to the American Psychiatric Association. And of the two, the unexpected death of a loved one is the more common. So be careful. Death of a loved one is an issue for all of us. There is no person in the world who did not lose a loved one. Okay, all of us have lost a loved one. There's no one who would not have lost somebody in their family or somebody they love. Now, all of us lose. But not all of us suffer depression or PTSD because of that. And I'm sure that your loved one would not wish that you suffer PTSD or depression because they passed away. So that's something you need to consider. So when somebody dies out of your close circle, you need to be mindful of the fact that this is something that should strengthen you. It's something that should teach you that indeed impermanence is part of life. Indeed, death is part of life. There is no life without death. 145. An important difference between adolescent depression and PTSD is that fear and agitation are more characteristic of PTSD than moodiness and withdrawal. Not surprisingly, anxiety disorders are more likely to develop in children and teens exposed to trauma. So that's a trauma that's a little different, but trauma is also a little problem. You will not be able to avoid trauma. Trauma is something that comes unexpected, but through daily meditation, you will be able to deal with it. So your daily meditation is not really a medicine after you have a problem, but it is a tool. It is a strengthening factor for your mind, so that when trauma comes, when stress comes, when troubles come, when loss comes, you are able to deal with it. Or at least you are able to deal with it better than you would otherwise. Alright? So make sure you meditate every day. Every day is very important for you, for your health, for your success, for the people around you. Any question, anything anyone would like to tell me? Previously we were looking at the Ogasa, but we are not catching it up with time today. I'm not exactly sure why. I see I was providing some explanation for Peter. So next week I will probably, maybe Tutam can provide the reciting paper, the paper with the recitations in the Viber, for the 3 refuges and 5 precepts, so that Peter can look at it himself. During our class, Peter can open it himself and read it, but I would like to recite others. But I would like to see others recite without looking at the paper, because they have been already reciting it for about 4 months or maybe longer. And very soon I want to start teaching the Burmese pronunciation. It was a pleasure to see everybody. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much, Shanti. Everyone, can you please unmute? Can you put your hand at your chest, please? Info, can you put your hand at your chest, please? Now, everyone, can you please say goodbye, Venerable Sir?
Goodbye.
Yes, goodbye everyone. Thank you.